James Kaufman, World News Report today, August 12th, 2025. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to go over what a KP Index is with you guys because we've got some serious problems as usual with NOAA and NASA. So a KP Index is a ground reading here on Earth of a combination of solar plasma and solar winds striking the Earth. It causes what's called a geomagnetic storm. A solar storm is caused by protons. They're almost immediately released from a solar flare, and they almost immediately hit the planet. That's a solar storm. This would be a geomagnetic storm. That'd be solar winds and solar plasma. Here is our estimated planetary KP Index. It's been revamped by NASA and NOAA, and you can see, well, it started here at 0, and we've had a 3, a 2, 2.67, a 3, a 2.33, a 2.67. This will all come into play, so I want you to watch this. And please remember, don't try to use the word seer around me, because I've been doing this for about 15 years, and that word was invented about 24 months ago. All right, let's look at our Boulder KP Index. Been a very quiet day, except for 3 hours of a geomagnetic disturbance. Well, that's not going to match up to what we see hitting our satellites. We're seeing huge solar winds, just as I said would happen, hitting our solar satellites. Next to our Fredericksburg KP Index. Looks like a very, very light day. And we'll look at their forecast because it was, as y'all will remember, a very light forecast. No geomagnetic storms and no solar storms, which are proton storms. Back to the college KP Index. Well, it's up on a mountain. We say it's particularly vulnerable. We saw the day start out with 6 hours of a geomagnetic storm, 3 hours of a disturbance G1, followed by 3 hours of a geomagnetic disturbance there. So again, back to our estimated planetary KP Index, the day of a geomagnetic disturbance, and that's it. That's it, right? A geomagnetic storm is protons. A geomagnetic disturbance or a geomagnetic G1. See, an S1 is a solar storm 1. An S2 is a solar storm 2. An S3, which we've seen none of that, is a solar storm 3. We're looking at geomagnetic storms. I know, it kind of sounds the same, but it's nowhere near the same. A lot of people taking a look at where the pressure is on our Earth. Our Earth is supposedly, via this model, moving to the left at 67,000 miles an hour, moving at you at 544,000 miles an hour, while the universe is expanding at over 1.3 million miles an hour. Supposedly seeing solar winds hitting the planet at 650 to 700 kilometers per second. But where are the bow shocks, sir? Well, it's the fastest spinning star we've ever seen. Y'all can see this was all Earth facing just 12 hours ago, and now it's all the way around the limb almost, right? This is the solar winds that are hitting us now at almost 700 kilometers per second, much stronger than they were when we registered a G1, G2, and G3 geomagnetic storm. I'm going to go check the woodshed. What's so sad is I showed y'all the NOAA KP Index forecast breakdown yesterday from 12, 13, 14, now from 13, 14, 15, shows no geomagnetic storms inbound. It is Space Weather Prediction Center. Today, of course, is the 12th. We should be seeing plasma from about 3 to maybe 4 centimeters cubed, maybe up to 4.5, 3 to 5. And solar winds here on the 12th started at, it looks like about 475 and went down and raised back up to 500, 475 to 500, okay? All right, so taking a look at solar winds. We did start the day out at about 475. The problem is we went higher and higher and higher, up to right around 700 kilometers per second. But there was no KP4, no KP 4.5, no KP5, no KP6, nothing. And then here we have plasma. Started at 3. We had some anomalies that went up to what? Jokingly. It's a joke. The anomalies went up to about 4 or 5. Nothing went over 10 centimeters cubed. The space weather threshold. Shields are down. Look at the solar winds here. So we have solar winds up near 700 and over 700 kilometers. Here's 694. Another reading of over 700 right here. And we're clear over 700 in here. But still, it's not even a G1 geomagnetic storm. And hey, they're saying that the coronal hole is no longer Earth facing. When I told you it had to be, they've just moved it. They can't just move it, can they? Look at the last prints here. 682. We can't even get a high one. 694. 100 kilometers per second faster than the G2 or G3 geomagnetic storm that they said that we had yesterday. And plasma is nowhere. That's 10 centimeters cubed of plasma. Shields are down. And we see temperatures are normal. Again here, we're supposed to start the day at 475 and go down to 500, if you will. Well, we started the day out at 475. It looks like we went up close to or over 700 kilometers cubed. Period. Nothing went over 10 centimeters cubed. There's no plasma. There was never a CME. This was all about that coronal hole. But why did they say that it was going to just disappear when I said that it wouldn't? Do y'all remember me saying that last night? I said, well, why would the coronal hole just disappear? Why would the coronal winds just disappear when the coronal hole is Earth facing? Then you can look at temperature, and it's right there in the normal variant. Now, we sure can't trust NOAA or NASA. We know that. So I've gone over to look at the German activity. We see solar winds peaking out over 700 kilometers per second right here. See if we can get a good reading. 707 is one reading. And plasma between 1 and 2.5 kilometers, centimeters cubed here. Again, I've already been kicked out of NOAA and NASA. But look, no geomagnetic solar winds or geomagnetic storm or plasma hitting Earth whatsoever on the estimated planetary KP index. But we see that the satellites are getting pounded by solar winds over 700 kilometers per second. And when they were at 600, just barely broke 600 with no plasma yesterday, we had a G1, G2 geomagnetic storm. Can someone please sit down and don't say seer either to me, okay? Just ignorance is bliss. Someone sit down and explain to me how this is possible. And hey, God bless you guys. We'll be live in a second. Lots of love. Peace out. Please share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro World.